Welcome to Long Pond, Pennsylvania, home of the Pocono Raceway here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. And tonight we have the Holio Cornhole Board Series Long Pond 175. My name is Nathan Christensen, and thanks for tuning in tonight on the broadcast. You're watching the All-American Sim Racing Network. As we just joining the broadcast, we like to welcome you, and we just want to let you know that qualifying is on the track now, as we have the quickest of 2 laps. We'll set the starting grid for tonight's event. On the screen, we see the number 8 car making his debut in the Holio series tonight. Dave Lorfano is in that car tonight. So again, making his first start of the year. He's from Poland, Maine. So as these guys work around, big track, so it takes a while to get a couple laps in, that's for sure. But we are going to see some lap times start to come up as Kyle Purcell will go to the top of the board with a 55.37. Behind him, Lorfano completes his lap at 55.44. Tyrone Yo with a 56.54 currently sits third. But look at that, Cameron Harris jumps up to the top just to be outdone by Sean Purcell in the 04. As Larry Garnes will complete his lap with a 55.43, but still on top, Sean Purcell in the 04. Opening week winner Rodney in the 17 is out on the track. His first lap is a 55.82, and he's from Eugene, Oregon. So lots of action still going on the racetrack with laps being completed as Sean Purcell comes off a turn 4, gets a little squirrely, but is able to hold on to it and completes his lap. So Sean Purcell fastest on his first lap with a 55.09. Cameron Harris with a 55.20. Kyle Purcell with a 55.37. And Larry Garnes, his quick lap will be a 55.43. As Rodney completes his second lap, a 55.60. Quicker but not quick enough to jump up. And Scott Leonard now is during turn number 3 on his second lap. Out of turn 4, Scott's looking to put a good time up on the board, and he crosses the line with the 56.40. So unfortunately not quicker than his first lap, but still a solid effort in the 9th spot. With only 45 seconds left to go in qualifying, it's still up front. Sean Purcell leading the way, with Cameron Harris on the outside of the front row currently 11 hundredths of a second back. Kyle Purcell in third, Larry Garnes in fourth, and David Lorfano rounding out the top 5. We just want to take a second here to review the points after 2 events here in the 2022 season. Rodney Uberpacker leads the way after his win at Daytona and the bonus points collected so far. He sits at 190 points. He unfortunately had to miss last week, but makes his return to the series tonight. Kyle Purcell in second spot. John Higgins Jr. in third. Sean Purcell in fourth. The winner last week from Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Robert Fox rounds out the top 5. So look like qualifying has come to an end, which means it's time to get going here, as let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's Long Pond 175. Like I said, on the pole, starting on the pole Out of the Stiper Motorsports shop is the 04 of Sean Purcell. Outside of him, from PC Motorsports, is the 2 of Cameron Harris. The 16 of Kyle Purcell will start in third. Larry Garnes starts outside row 2 in the 20. David Lerfano will start inside row number 3 in fifth, with Rodney Uberpacker, like I mentioned, the winner of the opening round of this series, starting sixth. David Hara in the 15 from Hillbilly Motorsports, and Don Manning driving the number 92 will start 8th. Scott Leonard will start 9th. Tyrone Yo will start 10th. The 11th starter is Chris Dickey. Outside of him in row 6 is Travis Rodriguez. And the last row will see Johnny May in the 69 and Robbie Fletcher in the 71. So as the cars, as you can see, get themselves already on pit road, as we have 14 cars ready to go in this third event of the 2022 fall season. So taking a look now at the owner's points, which are done a little differently here in the Holio series. It's goes with the car, the number of the car. So the Sniper Motorsports 04 leads the way with 350 points with one win after 2 starts. The 5 Assault Motorsports car is in second. The 16 Assault Motorsports car is third. The 27 PC Motorsports car is fourth. And 37 from Hammer Time Racing Shop is fifth. As the cars roll out onto the Pocono Speedway, the track is 2.5 miles long, and tonight's race will be 70 laps, covering a distance of 175 miles. As the field gets formed up, as we head down, I want to say the back straightaway, but one of the unique features here at Pocono is that there is only 3 turns. So it'll make for interesting racing, and we hope to see some good, clean racing tonight. I got a chance to take one of these Holio cars out for a spin a little earlier around Pocono, and let me tell you, at the start of the run, with the cold tires, until they get warmed up, it's definitely a little loose off the corners, so keep an eye on that as these guys look to keep the car under control on corner exit to make sure they don't lose too many positions. As they come down what's known as the short chute here at Pocono, the field is doubled up, and we are looking to go green this time by. So lots of good cars in this field tonight. Like I said, Purcell and Harris on the front row. Kyle Purcell and Larry Garnes will make up row number 2. David Lafrano and Rodney Uberpacker make up row 3. David Hara makes up, and Don Manning make up row 4. As green flag is out at Pocono, and we are racing into turn number 1. The longest straightaway on any track we go to here at Pocono, and it looks like Sean Purcell gets the jump into the corner. Out of turn number 2 they come. Everyone's holding their own. No one up into the wall. That's a good sign for sure. Definitely for sure. As they go down the long pond straightaway, drive it off into corner number 2. This is a tricky one, the tunnel turn. Don't want to... As we got Larry Garnes into the wall, he is collected by the 96, who then collects the 37. And the yellow flag is out, unfortunately, here on lap number 1. Not a good start to the race back there. I think the 20 just got out of shape in turn number 2. Got up into the fence, and it was all on from there. Let's go back and see if we can take a look. All right, let's keep an eye on the 20 car. He's inside the 15. So I think there was a little contact there with the 50 and the 20 that got him up into the wall, and then the 69 just had nowhere to go. And after that, the 69 unfortunately went down the track collecting the 37, who was just trying to make it around unscathed on the first lap, but unfortunately not the case. So like last week, unfortunately we have a caution on lap number 1 here at Pocono. And we will see the 20, and I'm sure the 37 and the 69 all on pit road. The cars all have fast repair, so hopefully they don't have to use it. But by the looks of the 69, or the 37, sorry, he was completely missing. The 37 was completely missing his front bumper, so I'm not sure he'll be able to get away without using that fast repair, but looks like he might be sitting in there with seeing how much work they can get done in that G-Tech car, but unfortunately for Charlie Dickey, just the wrong place at the wrong time on the opening lap. So as the field comes by under caution, looks like the caution lights are still on the pace truck, so we'll at least go a couple more laps before we get back to green flag racing. But like I said, lots of exciting laps here to come. We're only on lap number 3, so we still have a ways to go in this one. Looks like Robbie Fletcher, who had, I believe, some issues joining the race at the beginning, was able to stay on the lead lap by the looks of it. Looks like he's in front of the leader, but behind the caution truck, so that means he should get the wave around when we get to the white flag, meaning he will get back on the tail end of the lead lap. Only problem is here at the tricky triangle, trying to get back to the back of the field on the white flag lap is a tall feat, because you got to go all out for 2.5 miles to try to get back to the back of the field. But we'll see what he can do, and hopefully he can make it to the back of the field as we travel through the tunnel turn under caution from Pocono Speedway. Welcome back to our live broadcast of the Long Pond 175 from Pocono Speedway. It looks like the field is doubling up, which can only mean one thing, that the restart is imminent next time by. And just like that, Robbie Fletcher gets the wave around, and he will try as best as he can to join the back of the field here before we come back to the green flag. He's got a long way to go, but if he stays on it, he'll be able to get there. That's for sure. So, as we reset the field, not many positions have changed. Looks like we got the Sean Purcell, and Cameron Harris again on the front row for this start, with Kyle Purcell, and now David Lorfano moves up to the outside of row number 2 with Scott Leonard and Don Manning. Rodney Uberpacker and Scott Leonard make up row 3 on the restart. So based on the running order, it looks like, unfortunately, unlucky David O'Hara got the penalty there for the contact he made with the 20, causing him to get into the fence there. Last time in the tunnel turn there, causing the accident. So he had to go to the back. The tail end of the longest line is the penalty for any infraction here in the Holio series. You're watching the All-American Racing Sim Network, broadcasting live from Pocono Raceway for the Long Pond 175, round number 3 of the series this year, the start of the inaugural season for what is the Xfinity cars. As we take a look down the front straightaway at the field, coming back to the green flag, and as you can see in the background, Scott was able to catch up, and green flag is out, and we are back racing down into turn number 1 with Sean Purcell leading the way over Cam Harris and Kyle Purcell. As they make their way through turn 1 and 1, they come out onto the back straightaway with Sean Purcell still in the lead. We were able to make it through the tunnel turn clean and green as we dip into 4th at turn number 3 at speed for the first time. And down the front straightaway to complete lap number 5 with Sean Purcell leading Cameron Harris nose to tail with Kyle Purcell. Rodney Uberpacker was able to get around Lorfano on the start as we have a move for second as Kyle looks to the inside of the 27 of Harris out of turn 1 down the back straightaway. The draft has a good effect pulling these cars down the straightaway, right? As you can see, no gaps developing as this field up front stays pretty close with the Purcells battling yet again up front in this race and Cameron Harris. But here comes Rodney Upperpacker in the 17 DeWalt car. Out of turn number 4, they come down to complete lap number 6. And Cameron Herron is pushing the 16 of Kyle Purcell all the way down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. Now he switches lanes and jumps up behind Sean, but now he looks to go in the middle. Lots of grooves. That's the nice thing also about Pocono. There's so much room out there that there's no need to get very close to someone, but there's still lots of room to move around. As we head down the back straightaway again, lap number 7 of 70. 1/10 of the way there as they go through the tunnel turn. And onto the short straight now. Looking to enter turn number 3. And it looks like we have a pass for the leads as Kyle Purcell, Cameron Harris, Rodney Huberpacker, and David Lorfano all get by the 04. Let me see if we can find out what happened to the 04 car there. Let's take a look here at the replay and see what happened to the 04. As they go into turn 3. Looks like the 04 just had a hard time getting off the corner. I apologize. That's the wrong lap, folks. Let me see if I can dial up something here. As we have a battle still ensuing, even in the middle of the pack. Let's take a look at the battle between Don Manning and Travis Rodriguez going on. Oh, no, I apologize. That's the 04 of Sean Purcell, who seems to still be struggling a little. Looks like he's got some front-end damage. So at some point today, he unfortunately has been into the fence. Let's see if we can get a better look at that damage. 1 second here. As you can see on the passenger side, a lot of damage to that right front fender. We'll see if we can find a replay for you. But for the time being, we're going to focus in on this battle with Travis, Sean, and Don Manning. Let's see here. Oh, right there as they come off of turn 4. You can watch this. As they come off of turn 4, you'll see the 04 get into the outside fence right here. He's already lost 2 spots to his brother and Cam Harris, but on the exit of the corner, car just gets really tight, washes up the racetrack, and gets into the fence. That is why he fell back so far. And now we have an accident. We have an accident on the track involving the 04 and the 69 of Johnny May. Let's see what happened here, folks. 1 second. Get this dialed up for you. Okay, let's keep an eye on Johnny May as he goes through the tunnel turn. Oh, I apologize. It was Sean Purcell who was already in trouble, and Johnny May just had nowhere to go and could not avoid the 04 car. Let's rewind it a little bit, see what happened here to the 04. So down the back straightaway into the tunnel turn. It looks like they're too wide. Sean Purcell goes to the high line, and Travis Rodriguez unfortunately slides up and gets into the side of the 04. And at this point, not really too much damage, but then Johnny May comes in there full speed and unfortunately makes contact with the 04. Let's rewind this again. And we'll hop on board here with the 69. 1 second here. So Johnny May coming out of the corner, just nowhere to go, is committed to that outside line, and unfortunately just wipes out the 04 and then proceeds to, I thought blew his engine, but sounds like it's still running, so maybe he'll be able to limp it back to the pits. But under the second caution of the Long Pond 175, we are 11 laps complete, working to complete lap number 11, and pit road is open, which means pit stops for the leaders are underway. Pretty much everyone except the 92, looks like, of Don Manning jumps down to pit road. Larry Garns, who was involved in that earlier accident, also comes down or stays out, but the rest of the field comes down pit road to make their first stop of the race. I'm assuming for 4 fresh tires and top up that fuel tank, as we're only on lap number 12. Long way to go, and we'll be right back in a couple seconds. Welcome back to the All-American Sim Racing Network. My name is Nathan Christensen. I'm up in the booth tonight. Unfortunately, Peter is not able to join us this evening as he is under the weather, so he will not, unfortunately, he's not with us, but hopefully you don't get sick of hearing me as we, because we still got 58 laps to go here from Pocono. This is the Long Pond 175. From the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. 2.5 miles is the distance around, and we are doing 70 laps to complete a total distance of 175 miles. So as the field doubles back up to come back to green flag next time by, Don Manning in the 92 and Larry Garns in the 20 will be on the front row. They have not pitted. Well, not yet with the rest of the field. Larry Garns unfortunately had to pit after his lap 1, turn 2 tussle with the 15 and a few other cars, mainly the 37 and the 69 were involved in that one. But he came in, got the car repaired. Now we're back. He's back up front where he started. He started in 4th, so he's up in 2nd. But look for the cars behind him to be pretty quick on fresh tires after they all stopped there on lap number 11. So the running order at lap number 11, at number 13 is the 92 of Don Manning, the 20 of Larry Garnes, the 16 of Kyle Purcell, Cameron Harris, Charlie Dickey, David Lorfano, Scott Leonard, Rodney Uberpacker, Robbie Fletcher, and David Hara make out the top 10. Then you have Tyrone Yo, Travis Juggles, Rodriguez, and Sean Purcell, who was involved in the latest caution with Johnny May, who is still on pit road. I'm sure he probably used his fast repair on that first accident he was involved in, so he may have to wait this one out to see how much damage he has. But hopefully he can get back out here and join us once we get back going. But as we exit turn number 3, the pace truck will make a hard left-hand turn off the surface, and then the field will be in the hands of the 92 of Don Manning, who has to wait till he's in the Geico restart zone. And like that, the green flag is out, and we are back racing into turn 1 from Pocono. As they come out of the backside of turn 1 onto the short chute. Oh, looks like Hara got up into the wall there off the exit of 2. Might have had some help, but right now Don Manning leads the way as they go through turn number 2. And down the short straightaway into turn number 3, with Don Manning still holding the point over Kyle Purcell, Cameron Harris, and Charlie Dickey, who's up 7 spots from his starting spot in 11th in this race. As you can see all the different grooves as they go down the front straightaway, looking to go 3 wide as they go into turn 1, but Cameron Harris thinks better of that, tucks back in line, but Kyle Purcell makes the move on the inside of turn number 1 to get back to the point as we race through turn 1. Out of turn 2 down the pack straightaway, Cameron Harris looks now to get by the 92 of Don Manning, who got a little tight off the corner, which caused the 27 to have to back off a little bit. But down into turn number 2 now they go, and down the short chute. Take a look a little deeper back in the pack. Week 1 winner, Rodney Uberpacker, marred back in 8th place with the 0-4 of Sean Purcell, last week's winner, and accident victim on the last caution, looking to get back to the front of this field as they work their way through the traffic around them. As we go back into turn number 1, it looks like Kyle Purcell leads the way. Cameron Harris was able to make the move on Don Manning in the 92, which puts him into 2nd place. And now he's taking a run at the 16 as they come out of turn number 1. A little further back in the pack, racing for 4th and 5th, we have David Lorfano and Charlie Dickey. And then we have a side-by-side battle further back as Rodney and Sean still looking to settle who's the top dog in this fight with 8th and 9th, on the screen. But as we see, coming down the front straightaway, Kyle Purcell and Cameron Harris have opened up a bit of a lead over Don Manning, who again on the older tires won't be as fast as him, I don't think, but he's still holding in there in 3rd spot. But David Lorfano is chasing him down and looking to make a move as Sean Purcell and Rodney Uberpacker are battling still side by side as they look to make a move on Scott Leonard going into the turn number 2. And they both are clear of the 14 as they head down the short chute. Down the front straightaway, it looks like we have an attempt to pass for the lead as Cameron Harris looks to the inside of Kyle Purcell, and he makes the pass temporarily, but let's see if Kyle can get him back on the exit. Doesn't look like he's got the strength, so Cameron Harris is the new leader down the back straightaway. As the pack for right now, single file, no real battles on the track, but a lot of good battles already have happened in this one. As we keep an eye up front, though, as hopefully we see David Lorfano able to close the gap to the two leaders, Cameron Harris and Kyle Purcell, and we can have a three-car battle. But for right now, Cameron Harris leads the way off of turn number 3 down to complete lap number 18 of 70 here at Pocono. Let's hop on board the 16 of Kyle Purcell as we take a lap around Pocono Speedway. Starting here on the back straightaway, the second longest straightaway of the track, as he's behind Cameron Harris by just over half a second as we dive it off into turn number 2. Not a lot of off-throttle time, as you can tell. Right back into the gas hard, down the short straight, into turn 3. Back under the gas gingerly to not spin the tires and get that back end loose. But here we go, down the front straightaway to complete the lap. Let's jump a little further back in the pack and take a ride with Rodney Uberpacker, who's still battling with Sean Purcell, but they have made their way back up to 4th and 5th respectively after starting towards the back on that last restart, with Sean being involved in that last caution and Rodney just falling back on the last sequence of pit stops. Looks like the 8 car of David Lorfano from Poland, Maine is making some ground up on the 2 cars in front of him. He's about a second and a half behind Kyle and 2.5 seconds behind Cameron, but he hasn't lost sight of them, which is the key here. Don't want to lose touch of the leaders out front. If you can keep them in your front window, there has stand a decent chance of catching up and being able to potentially get one of those positions. As there you see a great shot of the top 5, 6. Now the entire field pretty much are all on the same straightaway because it's so long. But looks like Charlie Dickey is slowly fading back into the pack. I kind of think maybe he didn't take 4 tires on that last stop. He got 6 positions, it looked like, when he came by the time he came out of the pits, which kind of tells me that he might not have taken all 4 tires. But regardless, we got Cameron Harris up front, leading the way right now as we work lap 23 of 70 here in the Long Pond 175 on the All-American Sim Racing Network. Welcome back to Pocono Raceway from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Again, my name is Nathan Christensen, up in the booth tonight, bringing you play-by-play of race number 3 of the Holio Cornhole Board Series. As we work on lap number 25, let's take a run down through the top 10 in the running order. Right now, out front, Cameron Harris is up 1 position after starting second. Behind him in the 16 is Kyle Purcell, who started third and is also up 1 position and about 0.8 of a second behind the leader, Cameron Harris. David Lorfano, who was your 5th place starting car in the number 8 Valvoline machine, is up to the 3rd position, running about 2 seconds behind your leader, Cam Harris. Right now, one of the closest battles on the track is this one here between the 04 of Sean Purcell, who was unfortunately involved in the last caution at lap 10, and the 17 of Rodney Uberpacker runs in 5th in his 17 car. We'll go a little further back in the pack as we have a nice 3-car battle here developing into turn number 1, but right now, running in 6th is the 14 of Scott Leonard. And behind him is Travis Juggles Rodriguez in his 79. Don Manning, after not pitting with the leaders, hasn't pitted at all this race, still holding strong with those older tires in position number 8. With early caution casualty, the number 20 of Larry Garnes running in 9th. The top 10 in his Toyota is Charlie Dickey, after what I believe is only taking 2 tires on the last stop, which hasn't played out to the way I'm sure he hoped it would, but still in the top 10 with a solid run here as we complete lap number 26. But back out front, it's Cam Harris over Kyle Purcell, David Lorfano, Sean Purcell, and Rodney Uberpacker. Let's jump inside the cockpit of the number 8 with David Lorfano as we ride down the Long Pond straightaway into turn 2, the tunnel turn. As he's looking to close the gap on the leaders, he's got it down to 1.4 seconds right now currently. So we now ride on board the 17 of Rodney Uberpacker as he chases the 04 of Sean Purcell down the front straightaway and off into turn number 1. Two definitely distinct different lines there through turn 1, with Sean running the low line and Rodney running up a little higher to see if he can gain any kind of ground on that 04. That's the thing, right? You got to run where the car in front of you isn't to try to get by him, but you also got to find a good line to make up time on him. So that's what Rodney's doing. He's looking to make up some ground on him and get caught back up. Now let's take a look back and see the gap. It's about 0.6, so 0.6 of a second back to the 17 right now as we are on lap number 30 of our 70 lap main event. As we jump back up to the front and take a look at the top 3, and David Lorfano has really closed that gap down now. As you can see, he's down to 0.3 of a second behind the 16 of Purcell and just over a second behind the 27 of Cameron Harris. Speaking to Dave before the event, he says Pocono is one of his favorite tracks on the iRacing service, as he is a big fan of, he likes the big flat tracks, whether it's New Hampshire, I know that's not big, still flat, Martinsville, short flat track, loves going to Indy and loves coming here to Pocono. And one of the cool things about the All-American Racing League, if you've been following along all 3 series, or truck series, as well as the Cup series, all 3 events are synchronized this week at Pocono Speedway. So if you want to run lots of laps at Pocono, this is the series to be part of as they go down the long pond straightaway, working towards turn number 2. As you can see, these cars swerving, not uncontrollably, but swerving to try to break that draft that the car behind gets, as the 8 car makes a solid move into turn 1, holds the bottom, which prevents the 16 of Purcell from doing the crossover down out of turn 1, but now they go down the long back straightaway, and the 8 car is up into second place. But as they drop it into turn number 2, the tunnel turn, see if Kyle can make a move back through there. Loses a little ground off of the exit of 2, and David Lorfano is right on the back bumper of the 27. And just like that, he looks to make his move to the inside of the 27 through turn 3. And off of turn 3, onto the front straightaway. Here we go. We could have a battle for the lead shaping up. And it looks like Kyle Purcell hit pit road there. Kyle Purcell down onto pit road on lap number 33 of the event. But let's keep our eyes on the lead pack as they seem to have a good, or the lead duo, as they have a good battle going up front with Lorfano and Cam Harris. Lorfano makes some looks to the inside down the back straightaway. Does he have enough momentum to carry him past? Looks like he does as he gets by the 27 and slides up in front of him just on the entry of turn number 2. Out of turn number 2 and down the short chute, we can see Dave Lorfano is the new leader of this one over Cameron Harris. Sean Purcell, Rodney Uberpacker, and Scott Leonard are your top 5. As Dave comes out of turn number 3 and across the line, he'll be an official leader in this race and collect some bonus points towards that championship as he continues to pull away from the 27. Looks like he's a little better on the long run, or potentially Cam is just letting him cruise out there. So a bunch of pit stops going on with the cars further back in the pack. Don Manning, Tyrone Yo, and Larry Garnes all have completed pit stops and are back on the track. No issues for them. Robbie Fletcher still sits in the pits, getting his service done to his number 71 Toyota. Third car in the frame, Don Manning, finally came in to make his first pit stop of the race on lap 31, so he's on fresher tires than these two cars in front of him, but currently sitting one lap down. Kyle Purcell, though, was the third place car when he came down pit road, and because how long the track is, he was able to stay on the lead lap during that, as he's just coming out of turn number 3 and onto the front straightaway, as the leader and second place Cameron Harris go through turn 2. So I'm sure we're going to see these top two cars of Lorfano and Harris come down pit road anytime now. With Kyle out there on fresh tires, I don't think you want to be out there too long on older tires when these guys are gaining faster lap times. Although, if you're banking on going the complete distance on one more pit stop, you may want to hold off a couple laps. As Don Manning looks to make a move to the inside of your leader in turn 1 to get back on the lead lap, and David Lorfano doesn't put up much of a fight, knowing there's not for position, and he lets the new tires of the 92 go right on by. So let's jump back and take a look at the battle that was brewing earlier between Sean and Ronnie, but it looks like right now Sean was able to open up some distance from Ronnie, and he's running comfortably in the third spot, as Ronnie is in fourth. Scott Leonard in the number 14 is currently sitting in fifth. Dave Hara is back in the sixth spot, with Charlie Dickey holding on to spot 7 on lap number 37. Kyle Purcell, the first car to pit out of the lead group, is running in 8th. Don Manning back on the lead lap now, running in 9th. Travis Juggles Rodriguez, who also made a pit stop on lap 34, is now running in 10th spot, but he's behind the two leaders, who are still on their older tires. And it looks like the 17 of Robbie Uberpacker has dropped it down to pit road. Here on lap number 38, as he makes the long drive down pit road to his pit box to the attention of his pit crew. But still out front, yet to pit, is the 8 of David Lorfano, the 27 of Cameron Harris. Right behind him is the 79 of Travis Juggles Rodriguez. And then running in third now is Sean Purcell in the 04. The 14 of Scott Leonard is in fourth. And the 20 of Larry Garnes, who is one lap down on the field after making a pit stop earlier, but easily gets by the 14. Go back here and take a look. Tyrone Yo, who is also on fresher tires and one lap down, is in front of the 15 of David Hara, who rounds out your top 5. You're watching the All-American Sim Racing Network on YouTube as well as Facebook Live. My name is Nathan Christensen, and we will be right back in 1 second. Welcome back to Pocono Raceway on the All-American Sim Racing Network. My name is Nathan Christensen, and we are clicking laps off here in a quick fashion. As while we were away there, the 79 was able to get back by the leader, David Lorfano, to get his lap back, and looks like we have a pit stop coming up for the number 8 car. As the 8 car drops down pit road, Cameron Harris drives right on by, and he keeps going. But right behind the 8 car now is Sean Purcell on pit road as well. So let's jump on board Kyle Purcell and follow him around and see if he's able to beat these guys out of pit road and leapfrog them back into a top 3 position. So as he's coming down the front straightaway, he's able to get back by those cars as they are still on pit road. And here comes Lorfano, the first one off of pit road. After his pit stop, he'll cycle out in the 5th position with 3 cars still on track who haven't pitted, that being Cameron Harris, Scott Leonard, and Charlie Dickey. And just as I say that, the 27 car makes that hard left-hand turn off of the front straightaway down pit road to the attention of his pit crew. So now we got 2 cars left on track who have not pitted. Make that 1 as Scott Leonard makes the left-hand turn onto pit road. So it looks like roughly about 30-ish, 31, 32 laps of fuel on a run, because these guys were last in on lap 11, now working on lap 42 with your new leader back to the top of the pylon, the number 16 of Kyle Purcell. So, interesting storyline developing. We're going to see which was the winning play, we'll say. Because if we're looking at about 30 laps, it looks like I don't think Kyle Purcell is going to make it. Pitting at lap number 32, 31, 32 laps brings him only to lap 60. And that is not enough to get to the end of this race, obviously. We have a 70-lap distance, and we're only on lap 42. So we'll see how this plays out for him. Charlie Dickey still out on the track. Ooh, he gets a little off track, slowing down for pit road, but he was the last car yet to pit, and now we see him completing his pit stop. So this is going to cycle the group that was at the front back into order with Lorfano, Harris, and Uberpacker Jack jumping in front of Sean Purcell on that sequence of pit stops. And there you go. You can see the weaving down the front straightaway to try to break the draft of that car behind you, as Cameron Harris doesn't want to give any help to Rodney in the 17. Down the back straightaway. This is the closest battle we have on the track with Lorfano, Harris, and Uberpacker driving it into the tunnel turn. These guys are 16 seconds off the leader, but should be able to make up time as his tires are 8 laps older, and eventually that's going to play into the favor, right into the hands of these 3 cars back here, as we have Cameron Harris looking to the inside of Lorfano. I'm not sure if he missed the corner a little bit on that, or just wanted to let Cameron lead the way and help save some fuel, maybe being behind him. But regardless, Cameron Harris goes back in a second, and right there on that lap, that was the fastest lap of the race. So 55:24 that time by for Cameron Harris, which again, the fastest lap of the race so far. To give you an idea of the gap, we brought up the track map so you can see the first place car just exiting turn number 3 right now, as the second, third, fourth, and fifth place cars are just making their way through turn 2. So quite the gap still, but they've got it down to 14 seconds. So Kyle Purcell's lead is dwindling at a rate pretty substantial, as his last lap he ran was a 57:10. Now let's keep an eye on the lap times of these 3 cars that have pitted roughly around the same time. As Cameron Harris comes across, drives faster, a 55:12. David Lofano, a 56:02, and Rodney, a 56:38. So all about a second, almost 2 seconds quicker for Cam, a second and about 3/4 of a second quicker for the other 2 cars. So they are making headway, as the lead is down to now 13 3/4 seconds. But like I said, it's going to be an interesting storyline to see how this plays out over this last 26 laps, as that's how far we have left to go in the Long Pond 175 on the All-American Sim Racing Network. As we look back up front, as we have 25 laps to go of the 70 scheduled this afternoon, as Kyle Purcell still shows the way, since that pitting earlier and getting the run and the jump on these guys. But as I say that, the margin is being dwindled down. Almost a second and a half quicker that last lap was Cameron Harris. So he is closing the gap, and if he can close it a second and a half per lap, he will be right back on the back bumper, that 16 Toyota, in no time. So that time by, Cameron Harris was quicker, but not as much. Only 0.2 of a second quicker than the 16 that time. So, but he's got it down to 11 seconds. Lofano is 14.5 back. Rodney, 15.5. And Sean Purcell, the top 5, 17 seconds off the lead. Let's bring up the battle box, get a look at the times and how they are running on the track. So right now, Cameron Harris is 10 seconds behind the leader, as Kyle looks to get under and put a lap on Tyrone Yo out of turn 2, and no problems there. Tyrone does a good job of running a line and letting the leader get by. So the lap time gap has come substantially closer, with this time by the 16 running a lap of 55:39, and Cameron Harris, who is now on the same straightaway and only 9 seconds behind, runs a lap time of 55:81. Sorry, 56:97 for Kyle Purcell, my bad, and 55:81. So Still a second quicker than him, and closing that gap still readily as it's down to 9 seconds. David Lofano running in third, 4 seconds behind Cam. Rodney Uberpacker is in fourth, second and a half behind David, with Sean Purcell about a half a second behind Rodney in the battle for fourth and fifth. But back up front and still leading the way is the number 16 Toyota of Kyle Purcell. So let's take a look at the last time by the line. Purcell 57.24, Harris 55.99, Lorfano 56.62, Uberpacker 56.73, and Purcell with a 56.47. So Purcell's tires definitely older and wearing a little quicker because of how long he's been out there compared to the rest of the cars. But a strategy of pitting early to get those faster tires or fresher tires sooner to put some distance between him and Cameron Harris definitely worked in his favor. But in the long run, is it the play that wins him the race? And here he goes back down pit lane as I say that. The 21 laps to go. The number 16 Toyota, Kyle Purcell, drops down onto pit road to make another pit stop to get some more fresh rubber. So lots of strategy involved in this one. But right now, Cameron Harris is taken back over the lead with David Lorfano now in second, Rodney Uberpacker in third, and Sean Purcell looking to make a move inside the 17 down the Long Pond straightaway for fourth, but can't get it done as he tucks, or third, as he tucks back in behind the 17 to get some drafting help in that Ford. We'll keep an eye on this battle as we go side by side, and we'll be back in a couple seconds. Welcome back, and as looks like as we were away, the 04 was able to complete the pass on the 17. Let's go back and take a look at that pass for P3 and see how he made it work. So got the draft down the short chute into turn 3 and just puts it to the inside as Rodney uses that upper groove. Got a little higher than he wanted, but gave Sean lots of room as drops in behind him, and that's the pass which got the 04 back up into a podium position here as we continue to race with only 18 laps to go, as the 04 now looks to gain another spot as he's tracing down the 8 of David Lorfano. Back up front riding along with the 18 of Cameron Harris as he's stretching his lead out up to 6 6/10 of a second over the 8 car of Lorfano, who is being hounded by Sean Purcell in the 04. As we ride on board the 04 as we come out of turn 3 and down the front straightaway in front of what looks to be a packed grandstands for round number 3 of the Holio Cornhole Boards series from Pocono, the Long Pond 175, as we race with 17 laps to go in this one. As here you can see the distance between Cameron Harris and David Lafano. Harris just going into turn 1 now, with Lafano and Purcell just entering right now. So not too far back. The lead's opened up a little further to 7 and 2/10 seconds, but still a good lead for Cameron Harris here at this point in the race. So we got a battle on the track for 6th position between the 14 of Scott Leonard and the 15 of David Hare, two teammates out of the Hillbilly Motorsports stable. Looking to have solid top 10 finishes here from Pocono in round number 3. Last week, Dave didn't have the best luck, being involved in two incidents, both on restarts. One where the original restart where someone spun their tires and he just had nowhere to go. And then on the second start, another car got up into the wall after not getting the best start. And again, the 15 just had nowhere to go and was collected by a bunch of cars behind him. So David Hara looking for a bounce back week here, running in 7th, chasing down his teammate Scott Leonard. We're going to jump back up to the front of the pack with the 27 of Cameron Harris still leading the way. Lap number 15 laps to go on this lap, breaking that number down to 14, that time by the line. As it looks like David Lafano in 2nd, and the number 8 Toyota has managed to keep a comfortable cushion between him and Sean Purcell back in 3rd. Sean Purcell's had to fight back after an incident that saw him get a little bit of contact with another car, get up into the fence, and then get absolutely creamed by a car who just didn't see he was there on the exit of turn 2, resulting in a pit stop, a fast repair, and a march back up through the field. We'll go back one more position to Rodney Uber Packer on the exit of turn number 3 as he comes down to complete his 56th lap of the books, as we are working lap 57, so just 13 laps to go. Looking to see how far, if these guys can stretch it on fuel. Now here's one thing to keep in mind, that Kyle Purcell, who pitted for fresh tires on lap 50, is back out there running 56.11 lap time compared to the leader's 57.12. So 1 second quicker, but 25 seconds behind. And even with the conversion to Canadian, that math is not going to add up for Kyle to get back to the lead. But hopefully he can maybe get a late race caution. Wouldn't be good for Harris, Lafano, or Purcell, but it would tighten the pack back up and give us one heck of a finish to this event. But as I say that, he's closing in on the 17 of Uber Packer, looking to get back into a top 4 spot here on lap number 58. Back up front we go onto the camera that features the number 27 car as he comes through turn number 3 to complete his 58th lap, which means we have 11 to go this time by as they cross the start finish line right here. Cameron Harris puts 11 to go on the board. Again, we'll take a look at lap times as these guys come across the line. Harris with a 57.03. Lafano, that time by with a 57.04. Purcell, a 57.92. Kyle Purcell just coming to the line now. He runs a 56.46. So half a second quicker than our leader, a second and a half quicker than his brother, and about a half a second quicker than Lorfano that time by the line. This time by out of turn number 3, you can see the 27 crosses the line, and we have 10 laps to go. And we'll be right back in a few seconds to bring you home to the finish of this one. Welcome back to the All-American Sim Racing Network on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Nathan Christensen. And as you saw, while we were away at break, we have 9 laps to go from Pocono Raceway and the Long Pond 175. For the last about 15 laps, it's been all Cameron Harris out front doing what he needs to do to make sure he gets a victory here in round number 3 of the Holio Cornhole Boards series. If you like what you're seeing tonight, please make sure you join us this coming Sunday evening. Again, we'll be back from Pocono, but we'll have the Orr Lawn Care Truck Series on the Pocono 2.5 mile speedway with race number 3 for them also. Last week at Rockingham, they put on a great show. But this week, we're looking for even better racing here on the fast, tricky triangle. We keep an eye on the 16 of Kyle Purcell with the freshest tires out there. Pitted 10 laps after the 3 in front of him. And making some time up on them as these guys start to run 58-second laps for the 8 and the 04. But still in the 57s for Cameron Harris. So he is making up time. He's 7 seconds behind his brother and 8 seconds behind Lorfano. But I don't know if he'll have enough time with 7 laps to go. I guess if he's roughly about a second quicker with 7 laps to go, he should be able to catch up to his brother potentially and possibly Lorfano. But he does have some lap cars here in front of him. The first one being the 20 of Larry Garns. And then I believe it's the 69. Or sorry, not the 69. The 79 of Juggles is right in front of him also. So we are seeing a pass for 5th position for Scott Leonard as he gets up into the top 5, moving around the inside of Rodney Uberpacker there. Let's go back and take a quick look at that replay to see how he pulled that move off. It looks like he got him. Got a good run in turn 1 and 2, hugging that bottom line, and then just got a good run off with Ronnie up in the second groove. Not really being able to get the power down. Scott just used that low groove and a few lap newer tires to get by him. So as Kyle Purcell gets by the 20 of Larry Gons there on the track. And now there's one less car between him and his next position, which is Sean Purcell. He has that down to 3 seconds and gaining quickly on his brother. That's for sure. Let's ride on board and listen to him work the throttle around the Pocono 2.5 mile tricky triangle as we have 5 laps to go. He's got another lap car who came out of the pits in front of him, but he's looking to use a little bit of that draft to help him as they go down the short chute into turn 3. Should be easily able to get by Robbie Fletcher here, who is numerous laps down after a little jingle earlier in the race. But as you can see right there, Sean Purcell that close to his brother in the 04 and the 8 of Lorfano. That time, Robbie Fletcher dips down to the inside of the front straightaway, gets right out of the way of Kyle to hopefully let him get a good shot at these guys out in front of him. But let's take a quick jump up front to Cameron Harris, who is looking to put Charlie Dickey a lap down, but not having much success as of yet as they go into turn number 3. That time he gets under him, looks to put Dickey down another lap and drive away down the front straightaway. So with 3 laps to go, that time by as Cameron Harris crosses the line, Kyle Purcell has closed the gap to under a second on his brother Sean and roughly 2 seconds on his next closest competitor David Lorfano as they go down the front straightaway. Kyle Purcell about 2/10 off the back bumper. Getting to him and past him was 2 different things. So let's see if he can get it done as we cross over to 2 laps to go. It looks to use the outside of turn 3 to get by his brother. As we got ourselves a battle for 3rd position. This time down the front straightaway. It looks like the newer tires of Kyle Purcell will get the position and get him back up onto the podium. Got one more car in front of him that he can possibly get as the gap to Cameron Harris is still 18 seconds, but to David Lorfano in second, it's only 1.5 as they race down the long pond straightaway for the second last time. As Cameron Harris goes through turn 3 and comes out of turn 3, this time with the white flag waving in the starter's hands. But we need to keep a close eye on this battle for second. As coming to the white flag, Kyle Purcell now in 3rd place, 1.14 seconds behind David Lorfano. As we get the white flag now for these 2 drivers as they complete the final lap, sponsored by Blue Gray. Cameron Harris makes it through turn 3 a pretty uneventful race, the second part of it for him. Once he got the lead back, didn't look back, but here he comes out of turn number 3, down to the checkered flag. Cameron Harris is your race winner from the Long Pond 175. But just as I say that, we need to jump back as they come out of turn 3 themselves. Kyle Purcell is going to get second. Did Dave Lorfano run out of gas coming to the checkered flag? It certainly looks like it. Will he hold on for third? Lorfano holds on for third by a very little margin, but he manages to do it, as it looks like both him and Sean Purcell are out of fuel on the cool-down lap. That was some interesting racing at the end of that one. And if you give me a second, we're going to get the drivers to join us in the booth for some post-race interviews. Hi, Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Dave. Great run out there. Did you run out of fuel coming to the checkered? Is that what we saw?
Yeah, a bunch of us did. I know me and Sean ran out. I know it was close. I thought I had enough. I started to go and then realized I was still about, straight away short. So it is what it is.
That's some pretty tight strategy on fuel, but I guess it's better than running out with 2 laps to go, right? Coming to the white flag, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Cam was probably going to be good because he pitted a lap after me, so I knew he was tight as well. But I had to let him go there on that restart after the pit stop because I knew I was about a lap and a half to 2 laps short, so I had to save what I could. So, but congrats to Cam for sure. Sean, he thought he was going to have me there for P3, but he he ran out about the same time I did. So, yeah, tough break, but fun race. And like Pocono, first time in the Xfinity car here in a while, so it was fun.
All right, Dave. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next Tuesday when the Cup cars are at Pocono for the main event on the All American Racing League.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks. Hey, Kyle. It's Nathan in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Hey, Kyle. Great run out there. Some 2-pit strategies seem to work for you. You didn't get the top spot on the podium, but you're able to snag a P2, getting by Lorfano off of turn 3 there.
Yeah, I was just hoping that they had to save too much to be able to stay ahead of me, and I was worried getting towards the end there that if they didn't run out, I wasn't going to pass them. But Sean was getting low and had to go into super save in the last couple laps. And then Lorfano, I plowed the tunnel turn wall trying to catch Lorfano on the last lap, and then he ran out. So, yeah, I figured, Cam was faster than me on the long run especially. So I was like, well, I'm not going to beat him by trying to one-stop it and fuel save, which I'm bad at. So why not try something different, right?
That's it. Still a great result, a second place, and a solid points night for you. Anyone you want to thank for helping you out there?
Just Salt Motorsports for putting me in the car and backing me. I didn't have a whole lot of teammates out on the track tonight, but it was kind of a strung out race anyway, so it didn't play in too much. But overall, just big thank you to you in the broadcast booth, and then race control tonight, as well as those that put on the series. It's just a real fun race.
All right, thanks. I guess we'll see you here on Sunday night when the trucks make their Pocono race, correct?
Sure will.
All right, thanks again, Kyle. Have a good night.
You too, thank you.
Cam, it's Nathan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey Cam, great run out there tonight. Great fuel strategy there at the end. Everyone else seemed to be one lap short, but I guess you sticking out that one extra lap is really what got you to victory lane tonight.
Yeah, wasn't really good on the long run. Lafano caught me there on that second stint. Uh, and yeah, he pitted a lap before I did. I was able to kind of just car wouldn't turn anyway, so it wouldn't hurt to lift, a little extra before you get into. So I was saving on the second run, so I could prepare for that last run and just go all out without saving. So I saved in the middle before the end.
Well, that's good. It's a couple weeks in a row we've had some good fuel strategy races, which is kind of different, right? Where normally we have a few extra cautions to help, but it's good to see you get the win. Who do you want to thank for helping you out tonight?
Well, I didn't have any teammates out there, but the Purcell brother, I assume they're brothers. I'm not sure. Uh, they were giving it to me there in the beginning. So I guess I thank them for making it interesting. You know what I mean? Out there racing hard. I appreciate that.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Cameron. We'll see you next Tuesday when the Cup cars are back at Pocono. Hopefully you can carry the momentum and pick up a big win in that series too.
All right, man. Talk to you next time.
Thank you. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the All-American Sim Racing Network. We'll give you a field rundown here to see what the results are for those who want to know. Let me just clear that for 1 second. There we go. You should be able to see it now. Oh, that's the qualifying results. We don't want that, do we? We want this one. Sorry about that. It's first day, right? Cameron Harris, driving for PC Motorsports, was able to pick up the win over the 16 who came back from a two-stop strategy but was 17 seconds behind. David Lafano, who finished third, as you mentioned, running out of fuel, coming to the checkered flag. Sean Purcell also running out of fuel, coming to the checkered flag, but still able to cross, with Scott Leonard rounding out the top five. Dave Hara, a good bounce-back week after last week's disappointing run with the two incidents we mentioned earlier. Travis Rodriguez, in his second start of the year in the 79, finishes 8th. Rodney Uberpacker, opening week winner, finishes 9th. Tyrone Yo finishes a strong 10th. And then Larry Garnes, 2 laps down in 11th. Don Manning, 6 laps down in 12th. Robbie Fletcher, 13th finish in the 71. And the 14th finisher, Johnny May, after that early accident where he was not able to use his fast repair, and he was unfortunately not able to finish the race. But with that said, I want to thank you all again for joining us here on YouTube and Facebook. My name is Nathan Christensen. This is the All-American Sim Racing Network, and we will see you next week from Mid-Ohio for the one and only road course where the cars will not only have to turn left, but right at Mid-Ohio. Thanks again, and have a good evening.